My wife booked our anniversary trip without me. I am not Oop. Oops are you, anonymously 83,638 and you, Big Apple Parade. Originally posted to our marriage. My wife booked our anniversary trip without me. Trigger warnings. Spousal neglect. Less than. Editor's note. The text was saved before Oop deleted the post. Posted to you, anonymously 83638. Husband. Original post January 22, 2024. My wife posted a question about this somewhere on Reddit. Maybe here. I don't know. And now I can't find it. First time using Reddit. She posted about me not wanting to go on an anniversary trip that she had planned. She showed me the responses and some said I was checked out of the marriage. A lot of them also said just to book the trip anyways and I'd get over it. After she showed me the responses we tried to talk it out. But she was mad that I couldn't give her a valid reason for not wanting to go. She said she hasn't traveled in over 5 years and she was going either way. I kind of thought she'd eventually get over it and forget about the trip. Well, she took Reddit's advice and booked the trip anyways. But instead of booking it for the two of us, she booked it for her and a male coworker. Yes, a long weekend in the Caribbean with a coworker. I asked her if anything was going on between them and she said no. I had no reason to believe she would cheat on me until today. Which is clearly going to do if goes to a resort with him. She's a good-looking woman but has been very loyal for the last 10 years. I am shocked. What should I do? How can I fix this? She thought I was checked out of the marriage, but it's clear she's the one giving up. Editing my post to answer questions. I don't want to go because it's a long weekend in Canada and I'd rather just hang out at my cabin. Also, she arranged childcare, but this way we won't have to worry about having someone watch the kids. The coworker, I don't know anything about him. She never talks about work. She goes to work and comes right back home. When she's not at work, she's with the kids and is never on her phone, so if she's having an affair, she's really damn good at hiding it. Top comments. Overrated new 0423. Why would you not want to go on a romantic trip with your wife? Boudica's shield. He'd rather sit around his cabin doing nothing. Apparently. Wow. I wonder why his wife is losing interest in this marriage. Bella BBR. Your wife brought up a want to you. You didn't listen. Ignored her and couldn't explain to her why you can't meet her want and you are shocked she is checking out of the marriage? And NBSP. Posted to you, Big Apple Parade. Wife. Recovered with Wayback Machine. Hi. I'm the wife who booked a trip with her coworker. January 23, 2024. And I'm really embarrassed about all of this. A few things. 1. My husband doesn't use social media. I'm surprised he made a Reddit account at all. When I saw the post, I confronted him about it. He said he made the post to prove a point, but clearly stopped reading the responses early on. 2. I only made my initial post to try to show him that wanting to go on a 10-year anniversary trip wasn't asking a lot. I deleted the post because I was embarrassed he didn't want to travel with me. I know not to get marriage advice from Reddit, of all places, but I always like to hear other people's point of view. 3. My coworker is gay. My husband knows that. I've known him for 4 years and talk about him all the time. He paid his own way and is only going because none of my friends could go. Mom life. And he wanted to check out the island as he is getting married there next fall. My husband doesn't want me traveling with some guy he never met, but none of my girlfriends could go and I didn't want to go alone. 4. I am standing firm that I need a vacation. Yes, I wanted a 10-year anniversary vacation to our honeymoon spot. And I'm really sad it's not happening. It's been 5 years since my last vacation. And that was to visit his family. So really 7 years since my last fun vacation. I've had 2 kids. Survived a pandemic and worked my butt off to get an executive level job. I'm getting the hell out of here for a few days. 5. WTF is that about him wanting to go to his cabin? He never told me that. Plus he goes there at least 8 times a year. I asked him about that and he said that it's because it's what he enjoys doing and he didn't want to tell me because I would make him feel bad. Anyways, this whole thing is embarrassing. Will probably delete post later. Top comments. Carp grinder. Yeah. Even his post from his perspective made him look lazy and or selfish. I hope you have a pleasant vacation op. SD Lukely. I knew the guy was gay. I mean, I showed the other post to my husband and told him that the friend was probably gay and the husband didn't know. He was like, I know who your gay friends are. And I answered telling him that he liked me and wanted to go placed with me, unlike that guy. I hope you have a great vacation op. CC Zafod. This is the update I've been looking forward to hear. Thank you. I hope you have a really enjoyable solo anniversary trip. Such an odd thing to say. Edit. My favorite line. WTF is that about him wanting to go to his cabin? And NBSP. This is a repost sub IAM not oop. Editor's note. Please remember the no brigading rule. Do not harass oops. Do not comment on the posts linked in Boris. This is a very serious problem on the BoRU sub. Doing so will result into a permanent ban from this sub and the other linked sub. Again, please do not harass oops. She thought I was checked out of the marriage, but it's clear she's the one giving up. Yikes. Well, this update is pretty unsatisfying. Yikes. This marriage is not going to last long cause there are a lot of problems happening between. Love when he said he hoped she would get over it and forget. Definitely words of a guy who loves his wife. I left my partner of 5 years because I was resentful that he didn't want to go on any vacations. It stings. I get it. The thought of being married to a husband like this is horrifying. I like how people posts on Reddit thinking that they're in the right, and when people very clearly disagree with them, they quit reading all the responses. It's very funny. I get so tired of guys saying, I figured she'd get over it and move on. Basically saying they neglect their partner and that has worked pretty well for them. They sound very incompatible. And he sounds like a bore who doesn't even like his wife. Why am I immediately imagining a couch dad with Bud Light in his hand who works construction and whose idea of fun is going out with the boys to the local bar to play darts? I can also imagine him going out hunting with his kids in that cabin he likes visiting. This barely counts as an update? And extremely unsatisfying. This marriage has severe problems and probably needs to end, if not have extensive counseling. Definitely saw the guy being gay coming from a mile away, but it is pretty sad when you only have one person's side and they still sound bad. His wife's strong desire to travel seems more than reasonable. After years of pandemic, child rearing, work, etc., I can imagine she'd feel burnt out and want to take a nice getaway with her spouse. Especially for their 10-year anniversary. If Oop simply disagreed on the destination or timing of the trip, that would be valid. But he didn't even try to offer an alternative idea. It's the apathy. She doesn't even exist in his mind. She talks about her work and coworker a lot, but it doesn't even register to him. Also, he gets to travel to his cabin 8 times each year, while she doesn't have an equivalent opportunity? This isn't fair at all for her. The part that killed me is that he said he could go to the cabin and then they wouldn't have to deal with childcare, meaning wife would stay home and watch the kids while he kicked back at his cabin. Pretty jaw-dropping. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like the wife has any plans to leave him. She is just going to go on her vacation and head right back into this miserable marriage. She really tries to save this marriage, but he is locked in the cabin in his head. Oh no, an exotic trip to my honeymoon spot with one of the supposedly most important persons in my life. All planned, prepared, and even arranged childcare for. The horror. The horror. I see a lot of cabin free time in his future. I kind of thought she'd eventually get over it and forget about the trip. People like this are the reason their marriage fails. Your partner will not simply forget and get over it. All you're doing is ruining your relationship by pretending you can't see the warning signs. Even just reading the husband's POV, I was 99% sure she wasn't having an affair. But his "she's the one giving up" is just pathetic. It's not giving up if the other person already has. It's letting go. OOP's wife cleared all the hurdles or barriers for him to enjoy a great weekend with her. He decides, nah, he'd rather stay at home. Short of an immediate visit with a therapist to determine if he's got some mental health reason for this. What does he think is going to happen? He's making no effort for his partner. His wife is trying to connect with him and he blew her off entirely. What an ass. I don't know her male coworker, he says, but then she says, I literally talk about him all the time. My husband knows that he's gay and is getting married next year. So if she's talking about work and work friends, and he still says she never talks about work. She never talks about work, equals, I never ask her about her day because I'm checked out, and I don't listen to her when she actually talks about work 'cause I'm checked out. Husband is an ass. So what does the husband bring to the marriage? Because it sounds like his wife is doing all the emotional labor and planning here.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.